Basho, we continue with Basho's introduction. Narrow Road to the Deep North.
You have to take that sound off your phone.
The sound off. Yeah, can take sound off everything. It seems noise is everywhere.
Maybe it's very noise.
Noisiness.
It isn't very sound. That's horrible sound.
Yeah, I know.
Do you
Noise.
have choices?
The noise.
Yeah.
I suppose you could turn it down and then turn it up or something.
And do you have a different voice?
The noise.
Can you choose another music, another tone?
Yeah, the noise could be coming all the time whenever the phone does a...
But can you choose a different one?
I don't know.
Find out.
Okay. We're looking at Basho. Basho is we're gonna continue. This is part 3 of the introduction. So we're moving along at the speed of light. Basho was born in the city of Uno in the province of Iga, now a part of Mi Prefecture. In 1644, his father, Yozamon, was a minor samurai in the service of the Tudo family that had ruled the city for a number of generations. Basho had 2 elder brothers and 1 elder and 3 younger sisters. Finally, his family was not particularly favored. Financially, his family was not particularly favored. His father is said to have supported the family by teaching writing to the children of the vicinity. Basho was called Kinsaku in childhood and Tashikuro, or sometimes Chuimon, after his coming of age. In 1653, when Basho was only 9 years old, he entered the service of the Tudo family, officially as a page, but in reality more as a study mate of the young heir. Interesting, he studied Yoshida Tada, who was older than Basho by only 2 years. This began their relatively short but extremely warm friendship. In 1655, Basho's father died. Born with a delicate constitution, Yoshitada took more to the acquisition of literary accomplishments than to the practice of military arts. That's Basho's childhood companion. He and Basho studied the art of linked verse under the guidance of Keegan, 1624 to 1705, one of the ablest disciples of Teitoku. Yoshitada must have been a fairly good poet himself, for he was given the pen name Sengen, which had one character in common with his teacher's pen name. Basho's pen name in those days was Sobo. Following 2 poems, haiku, of his, published in 1664 in the anthology named Yasayo no Nakayamashu, are the earliest records. Poem. The moon is the guide. Come this way to my house. So saying, invites the host of a wayside inn. The leafless cherry, old as a toothless woman, blooms in flowers, mindful of its youth. Needless to say, one can detect a heavy influence of the deliberate style of Teitoku in these poems. In 1665, Sengen, together with his fellow poets, composed a chain of linked verse consisting of 100 pieces to commemorate the 30th anniversary of Teitoku's death. Basho contributed 17 poems, but they were written in a style quite similar to that of the poems quoted above. In 1666, Sengen died at the age of 25. His early and sudden death must have given Basho a tremendous shock, for upon returning from Koyasan, where he enshrined the mortuary tablet of Sengen by the order of the bereaved father, Basho asked for permission to resign from his service. The permission denied, he ran away to Kyoto. The exact manner in which Basho spent the next 5 years in Kyoto is unknown. It is generally believed, however, that many of his making his abode at the Kinpukuji Temple, he studied Japanese classics under Kijin, Chinese classics under Ito Tannen, and calligraphy under Kitamuki Ungitku. One can detect an air of greater freedom in the poems of Basho wrote during this stay in Kyoto. For example, poem. Unable to meet at their annual rendezvous, the two stars fret in the fretful sky of July. Coquettish bush clovers stretched out on the ground, ill-mannered just as much as they are beautiful. The sharp, crying cuckoo seems to have died with the blood of his mouth, these azaleas on the rocks. The episode with Gitanini is also believed to be an event of those years. Historically, however, there is nothing known about this woman except that she was the mistress of Basho in his youthful days. In any case, the 5 years in Kyoto must have been very fruitful and yet in many ways stormy ones for Basho. In 1671, Basho returned to his native place, and in the spring of the following year, he presented to the Tenman Shrine of Uno City the first anthology of his own editing, named K.O. It was a collection of haiku coupled in pairs, and each pair compared, judged, and criticized by Basho, for example. Seems he did his own critique. Is that what I just read?
Mm-hmm.
Poem, time and time again, nipped by a sickle with a click. Beautiful, beautiful cherry. Come and take a look at this tapestry of cherry. Tapestry-coated old man, my friend Jinbi. The first poem by Rosetu is excellent in that it praises the cherry tree by saying, time and time again. Wit of this kind is certainly a model for all composition. The second poem by by myself tries to communicate the idea that Jinbi's rich coat will lose its color if he comes to see the cherry. It must be admitted, however, that this poem is weak not only in structure but also in diction, and that gives real beauty, to the poem. Let me condemn my poem, therefore, by saying that Jinbi's soft head is no match for the sharp blade of the sickle. It is possible, of course, to suspect that this judgment was formed by Basho, out of the modesty which was so characteristic of him. But at the same time, no one will fail to observe that this anthology was the work of a very ambitious man. So in 1672, after a short stay of several months in his native place, Basho left for Edo, Tokyo, the city which was thriving as the seat of the Tokugawa government. His firm determination at the time of departure is expressed by the poem he left behind. Poem: separated we shall be forever, my friends, like the wild geese lost in the clouds. Now, unlike Kyoto, Edo was a relatively young, growing city, and there was a great deal of activity and freedom in the air. For the first few years, at least, Basho seems to have found it difficult to decide what he really wanted to do. He stayed with friends and admirers and engaged in work of a miscellaneous character. Even through those years of groping, however, Basho seems to have gained an increasing firm footing in the poetic circles of Edo. For in 1675, when Soin came from Osaka, Basho was among the poets who were invited to compose blank verse with him. The encounter with Soin must have been an epoch-making event for Basho, for upon this occasion he changed his pen name from Sobo to Tosei. Best deep respect for Soin, as well as his marked influence, can be felt in the link verse he composed in the year after. Poem: under this plum tree, even a black bull will learn to sing a song of spring, filled with cheerful joy, coming as it is from a human throat. The song is better than the frog's chorus, lightly, fancifully sprinkled upon this world, teeny rains of spring. In the field, young shoots float in pools, muddy as bean paste mixed with vinegar. Page 24. I'm afraid we've run out of time. Cookie. There we are. And that's the part 3 of Basho, Narrow Road to the Deep North. Introduction only. Very good.
Why are we running out of time?
15 minutes is up.
So
So what? What are you going to do about it?